We take a look here at ETFs. They seem to have really been ignoring default. Where are they going? Where's the money?
Right. Yeah, right. You said it earlier, up, up, and away. That's a great way to describe the flows into U.S. equity ETFs. In October, we've seen $5 billion flow into U.S. equity ETFs, and this brings the year-to-date total to $100 billion, which is double where we were last year. So investors keep piling into these ETFs, namely the S&P 500 ETFs are doing quite well. SPY, as we all know. One of the smaller ones that's actually growing quickly is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker VOO. It's basically about doubled in size in the past year. Investors are liking this one. It's the fastest growing S&P 500 ETF, mostly because it's very cheap. 5 basis points is the expense ratio.
Yeah, you know, Eric, it's not only cheap, it's pretty vanilla. I mean, it's not a very sexy or risky ETF there. What kind of sector flows are you noticing? Are investors willing to take on more risk when it comes to sectors?
Well, in the healthcare space, that's normally looked at as defensive, but with Obamacare coming, a lot of investors are starting to get into that sector. It's basically taken in $5 billion year to date, which is double where it was last year. And a lot of the big, broad healthcare ETFs are the ones doing the best. But I have one that I think is smaller, but is better positioned for Obamacare because it has a lot of hospital exposure, and that's the Spider Healthcare Providers ETF, ticker XHS. The big, broad ones don't have hospitals, and those are the big winners since the Supreme Court upheld Obamacare. A lot of the hospital stocks are up big, and this one has big exposure to them. Right.
You know, Eric, we only have about 20 seconds, but I'm curious as to if any of this money is going overseas.
A lot of it. $5 billion is going overseas in October. Big one is going into Europe. The iShares EMU ETF, ticker EZU, is a big one. This one's doubled in size to $6 billion. Investors like the recovery story over there and are using ETFs to play it.